Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Time for the Grade 3 Virginia Derby preview at Colonial Downs. It's race number 9 on Saturday, and there are a ton of stakes races at Colonial this weekend. Play it with a DRF Bets account. You won't be sorry because you get a $100 deposit match upon sign up at drf.com/bet. Here's the field for the Virginia Derby. 3-year-olds going a mile and an eighth on the inner turf for $250,000. And Mike, the number 1, Changey, is a horse that's got at least a little bit of tactical speed. The most recent win, though, came for a $35,000 now winners of 2 life tag. This horse should be close to the early pace, but he's got a lot to find against some tough horses.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him getting a good trip in this race, Dan. I just couldn't really make him on paper. I think this race is going to be way too tough.
Let's throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector really quickly. Changey we see in 4th, and again, has that tactical speed to work out a trip, but he's just facing a tough group. Right behind him in mid-pack is the 2, Solidify, who started off his career on a synthetic surface up at Woodbine like he could be something. He won the Grade 3 Gray in his second lifetime start. 2 two-year-old buyers of 70, nothing to sneeze at. Coming off this long layoff, ran okay in the Tail of the Cat, a race that I thought kind of fell apart. And then last time out in the Kent, he just really didn't fire in a race that kind of stayed together.
Yeah, I wanted to see him run better last time, even if that race wasn't really coming back for him. I wanted to see him make some kind of a run into that race. He didn't do it. I thought his seasonal debut was fine. I thought it was a race he could build off of. Maybe he'll do it in this race.
Number 3 is JS's Solitude. Let's go back to the race 2 back at Keeneland. This is at this mile and an eighth distance, and it's also over yielding ground. Ever since Eddie Keneally put the blinkers on this horse, he seems a little bit more focused. He's going to come with a belated and determined rally to just miss.
I thought he ran well in this race. He had run well prior to that in a couple of really tough spots against some good horses. This is a good effort here, just missing at the end. And then he came off that layoff last time. I really liked the way he won that race last time, Dan. I think the distance is okay for him. I don't think we're going to get 8-1 on him, but I think he's a big player in this race.
Solid horse, buyers in the 80 to 85 range. I think capable of a forward move like you, taken with his performance at Arlington most recently, at a distance that might actually be a little bit short for him. The 4 is Critical Data. I'm a fan of Critical Data. I like this horse's effort in his North American debut at Laurel. He got beat a neck. I bet him in the Kent. Again, that race just didn't really come back to him. He ran an okay 4th, and in the Frisk Me Now last time out, maybe he bled because now he's getting Lasix for the first time. I'm off him at a price, which means he's going to win.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't go back to this horse. I know that you like him, and I totally understand what you like about him. This is, the last race where he doesn't obviously run his best here, but the goes on. I think you see a better performance out of him.
Yeah, we see him finishing 4th in that race, the race won by Tracksmith, who we'll get to in a little bit. And this horse is a price source that you could certainly use. Shooting the Breeze is listed as a first-time gelding for trainer Graham Motion. We've always thought that this horse could find a race, and maybe this is the spot, even though he's been beaten in non-winners of one other than. Those are some good fields in New York.
Yeah, there's something there with this horse. It's just a question of whether he's ever going to put it all together. He's got a little bit of talent. That was a tough allowance race last time. But he didn't run that well in that race. I thought he ran fine 2 back, though, when he was second to Valid Point. There's something there with this horse.
We saw Tracksmith's win last time out in the Frisk Me Now. It was a short field, a race without pace. He was last. He came widest into the stretch. He wore them down. He's now paired up by her tops in his 2 races off a long layoff. He just seems to make a lot of sense in this race.
I think he does. I wasn't blown away with this race last time, but there's no denying that he was just best in there. As you say, he's last behind a slow pace and then coming down the outside with a good finish. He's very logical in this race.
Credit Swap ran 3rd in that race. He broke very well, pushed the pace along the inside, raided back into the pocket, and then just didn't have any pop. And that's kind of been the story in his 2 route races. I think this horse could get forward. I wouldn't be surprised if Trevor McCarthy actually tries to steal this race, but a mile and an eighth might be a little too far.
I wonder about the distance for him, too. I mean, he's bred to get it, but so far on the track, he hasn't really shown that he wants that kind of ground. I think his 2 route races are okay. If he can build a little bit off it, I think he does have a – I'm a little interested in him. I'd want him to be a pretty big price, though.
English B is the 8th. Let's watch him in the Hall of Fame last time out, a grade 2 at Saratoga. He's kept pretty good company. Jock Javier Castellano stays inside, and he kind of just punches along to finish 4th. It was a solid enough performance. This horse was good enough to win the Murphy with an absolutely perfect trip 3 starts back. Simply from a speed figure and class standpoint, he fits.
Yeah, he makes a lot of sense in this race. You know, his Hall of Fame was fine. They just rode the rail the entire way. He was never a threat in that race. It wasn't a stellar performance. I think this is an easier spot, though.
Turf debut for Chilean Charge, who is a stakes winner over the Tapeta Surface at Woodbine. A maiden winner, by the way, over the Tapeta Surface at Woodbine. A stakes winner on dirt at Parks, just overmatched against Mr. Money in the West Virginia Derby. I think this horse can be forwardly placed.
I think he can too. It's not an easy spot to make his turf debut. We'll see if he handles it. I wanted to see a little more pedigree from him.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Virginia Derby. We were both taken with the 3. JS's Solitude's last few races. I think blinkers have made the difference with this horse. He is 8-1 on the morning line, and I think he's going to get a little bit of pace to rally into. I went 3, 8, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I went 3, 8, and 7 as well. We have the same exact hit in this race. I just want to see what kind of price this horse goes off.
It's the Grade 3 Virginia Derby, one of a plethora of stakes races in Virginia on Saturday. Get involved with that DRF Bets account. $100 in deposit matches waiting for you at drf.com/bet. And approximate post time for the Virginia Derby, 9 o'clock Eastern. Good luck.